Hello and welcome back to Talon 101. Yes, you already know that you can sidestep towards the left and sidestep towards the right. This is a 3D game after all. But of course, you can also press a button as you sidestep and you can get these moves. Ooh, that's right. Hwoarang has 2 or 3 sidestep moves depending on how you're looking at it, because sidestep 3 is a move in itself and sidestep 3 is another move. The follow-up to sidestep 3 and then you have sidestep 4. So basically you have a mid and a low. Perfect moves to complement Lethal Skyrocket. Let's again go over them one by one. So SS3 is an 18 frame sidestep move that is -1 on hit, and if it does get blocked is -12. Now if this move does counter hit, your opponent will get counter hit, will fall to the floor. So if they don't hold a button right afterwards, okay, because back in Tekken 7, if the opponent did get hit by any move that gave this kind of counter hit effect, if you didn't hold forward right afterwards, what you'd have to do is hold forward and then back, you wouldn't recover. So you would get comboed right after it. So like if the opponent gets this, I could like hit you with back 3 and then it would tornado. So if it was Tekken 7, I could hit you with FF4 and continue the combo like so. But it's built into Tekken 8, so I guess the opponent never has to worry about it. So yeah, you basically just get +5, and like you can utilize that +5 however which way you want. Just know again that 13 frames would be the safest way to stay alive against a Power Crush. And then if it's a Rage Art, you gotta go I-12. Yeah, and there's nothing else to this move. It puts you back in left foot forward. He kind of jumps back, and you're like, you may be thinking like, hey, maybe I can punish a jab, right? So if I hit an SS3 by accident, can I backdash this jab? Yeah, depending on like the range you do it, and then you can get like a DF2. But you can also just straight up Power Crush and you'll be safe. You can also use your evasive move, or you can panic out with a down jab. I mean, take your pick depending on like how your opponent is in that situation, because not a lot of people see this move. It's very rare. Why is this rare? Because again, there's SS+3, and this is the move most people would see. So SS+3 is +14 on hit to Flamingo, putting you at a major advantage, and this allows you to pretty much press any button in Flamingo for the most part. Most buttons rather, right? So locking in an LFS back 4-3 would be great. Let's double check that again against a Power Crush to see if a Power Crush could go in. So a Power Crush could still go in against LFS back 4-3. Double check with LFS2, so it's a matter of the LFS back 4-3 rather. Putting Hwoarang airborne, perhaps? Yeah, putting Hwoarang airborne, so LFS2 if you want to use a 16 frame mid in that situation. But for the most part, you can press anything, right? So I guess even LFS forward 3 would not get stopped, yeah. So it's only the fact that I guess LFS back 4-3 puts Hwoarang airborne. But yeah, if this move does get blocked, it's +3. And at that point, this +3 is very, very similar to 1-2-3 on block situation you've always been in for the most part, where left Flamingo 1 would trade with an opponent's jab. And if they do use a down jab, you'd have to use your Power Crushes or your left Flamingo mids that would win in that scenario. Now, SS3 did counter hit, and SS3 will give you a full counter hit. So you can follow up this with any move you like for the most part. So again, that would probably be LFS2 to follow up with the combo. So I'll just do a couple of examples here. So LFS2. Again, this is a sample combo. Do not copy it, because it is not optimal or nor BNB worthy. LFS3 to like continue the combo. You can also do LFS down 3-4, SS+3, like so. But typically, most SS+3 combos would involve an LFS 3-4, like so. So just mind it when you're in straight axis or side axis, because the moment you are side axis, that combo, I guess, has a tendency to drop. So just stick with a different follow-up. Probably LFS2 to have more control over the combo. And usually you will see this move SS+3 at the wall, because this is Hwoarang's max damage combo ender. And if you do want to get SS+3 to connect at the wall, you have to watch the opponent's backside or bottom. Their butt, basically. As the opponent gets launched, you want to sidestep to either side to eat up some frames. And then watch their butt. And make sure as the butt falls parallel to the floor, that's when your SS3 connects. Not exactly easy to pull off, but you just time your sidestep with that, and then eventually it should be, well, muscle memory at that point. Of course, you can also use combos where it's already built in. So like, let's say we do RFF forward 3 to tornado, and then you sidestep. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Why? Because you eat up a lot of frames to already do it. So that would also involve stuff like high wall splats where you do up back 2, and then you sidestep, and you get it. So if you do combos like that, it'll be very easy. But if you are just getting it off regular situations, you'll have to wait for your opponent's butt to fall a little bit down, and then you SS3, and then that 3 will hit with them for that 50% scaling, and you'll get a lot of damage in that combo. So the new thing that they did with SS+3, right? Because all the stuff I mentioned are pretty much the same. Of course, the combos were a little bit different. This move used to not jail on block. So like if you do a 1 into another 1, that doesn't jail, right? Or stuff like down 4-4. If down 4-4 does get blocked, it will not jail. But if the opponent blocks SS3, they can't duck the second hit anymore. So this is why its usage in previous Tekkens was a little bit lower, or maybe in Tekken 7 mainly. And it was just like kept to being a combo ender for the most part. Didn't mean you couldn't use it in neutral, but against a really good opponent who was very aware and awake, and well, they were ducking the second hit of SS+3. But here in Tekken 8, you can pretty much throw it out freely for the same situation on, again, 1, 2, 3 on block. It's just that the bonus you get, instead of like throwing out 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3 for the left flamingo mix-up, is that if your opponent does press in between as you are throwing out SS+3, yes, that would be a counter hit launcher, and well, that's a good amount of damage for you. That takes care of Hwoarang's first move, Sidestep 3 or Sidestep 3-3. Let's move on to his second move, and this is a move you've probably pressed a lot. This is Sidestep 4. That's right, this is a move that puts Hwoarang in right foot forward at 5 frames of advantage, and the opponent is forced crouch. What does that mean? That means the opponent will have a difficult time sidestepping towards the right. They'd have to do a pretty complicated method of inputs to sidestep towards the right if they were using regular peripherals. Oh, sidestep left rather. And they won't be avoiding RFF DF4 in that situation. They can't move towards the left at all, basically. So certain moves will be more favorable depending on which side you're playing in. So like RFF DF4 now, since it does track towards the right in Tekken 8, you can kind of like just freely press this. Like, what's the opponent going to do? They have to take it. Not unless they sidewalk right, perhaps. Or not. But again, this is Hwoarang's sidestep, right? So double check with characters who have stronger steps, and if they can step RFF DF4 in that scenario. But for the most part, from what I remember off the top of my head, most characters are going to have to take this. So your layer 1 mix-up after an SS4 connects on hit is very strong. Not unless, I guess, if you're playing on player 2. So the moment we swap sides and we tell Hwoarang to sidestep towards the left, yeah. That's why this is, you have to figure out which side your opponent is playing if you're playing online. And then if you're playing offline, try to win the coin flip to get a favorable side so that you're not put in a tough spot after SS4 on hit, as sidestep left or sidewalk left makes it pretty tough for Hwoarang to follow up. Then again, you can always still use your highs and your lows, but then that's what you'd have to build it off. You don't really have a mid to work with if the opponent is sidewalking towards the left. Now, this move is indeed -13 on block. So if you're again playing against characters like Kazuya, well, that's a launch. That is what it is. But the reward you get for this risk, right, is pretty high. Because if it does connect, it is a counter hit launcher, and you can just use your combo that you use on RFS BF4 on counter hit, and you'll get similar damages. So the follow-ups you can use right after SS4 would be down back 4, as I did earlier. You can also use right plasma blade, RFF4 slide 4. You can use RFF3. Oops. RFF3. And you can also choose to do the full string, RFF3-4, take your pick. RFF down 3-4 hits very well here because RFF3 again, RFF down 3 hits grounded. And if you didn't want to do any of the RFF options, save for less for down back 4, you can cancel RFF and get back 3 and have a different kind of combo, which is, I guess, slightly similar to right plasma blade. And this is the move that gets paired up a lot with lethal skyrocket or just frame skyrocket, because as you step the opponent, so let's say your opponent does block an LFS1 or an RFS2, you sidestep SS4 and JFSR, because these moves will come out roughly around the same frame. So the fastest JFSR input you can get again is 18 frames, but this move also comes out at 19, and realistically most players would have a 19 to 21 JFSR, so it's perfect that they both come out at the same frame. So as you sidestep, your opponent has to think about these two options for the most part. And I guess if you didn't want to end on a mid like that, you can always put yourself at a interesting mix-up right after SS+3, or if you're trying to fish for a counter hit on a mid instead of, you know, a launcher. So yeah, that's both of Hwoarang's sidestep moves. They're not really changed as much. I guess slightly upgraded for SS+3 as it no longer can be ducked. The second hit can no longer be ducked. It jails. And SS4 has more moves to follow up with. Mainly right plasma blade and back 3. And a more reliable down 3-4 follow-up afterwards. That's everything I know about Hwoarang's sidestep moves. That has been the lesson for today. I've been Frontier, and thank you for watching.